Hi guys, it's Ray here from City Fan TV, and I'm joined by the Bionic Man, soon to be Bionic Man. He's going to change his knees. Bernard Deneen from the Citizen Channel. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, Deneen. Yeah,
Deneen.
off air, guys. I've just got my knees played up. That's all. I don't know why. I'm
Off
surprised
air,
actually because obviously, as you know, played a lot of football in my young days, and of course, as a goalkeeper, my knees took a lot of stick anyway. So it might be that coming back to haunt me.
Off air, Bernard was telling me about his shower routine. I tell you what, guys. But when someone says to you, when I look down and one's bigger than the other, he was talking about his knee. Honestly, he was talking about his knee. Right, let's be serious for a minute, guys. This is meant to be a semi-serious channel. Now and again, we're here to talk about the Brentford game. It's coming up on Monday night, so the lads have got 5 days to recover. I'm just going to give you a few words from Pep's press conference before we get into it. So let's. I think I'm not finding it easily on the MEN. I used to Google MEN Pep's press conference. I used to get the transcript. Can't get it anymore. So I'm having to do with the Manchester City's Twitter feed. Anyway, let's go through just a few points about injuries and stuff. Pep said everybody is fit. Everybody is ready. Manu Akanji is back as well. The busy period is here, and the Champions League is around the corner. It's good to have everyone. On how John Stones is, Pep said he's really good. It was not muscular, it was ankle. When it's the ankle, it's okay. The risk is mine, I would say. He needs to make a step forward to the John Stones we saw last season. Step by step, hopefully, he can continue and avoid it. I don't know what avoid it means. Anyway, we know in the past how difficult Brentford have been. Even when we won it, it was tight. We lost twice last season. We know the standards they have. They have a plan and they apply it well. It's another game to face and another challenge. Pep said, I analyze the squad and the skills they have, and I try to make them comfortable. Erling played last season. Julian is a striker with different skills and movements. Brentford are dangerous from throw-ins and corners. We have to adapt, and we know they are really good at that. That's about it. I think that was about it from his press conference. That's what they struck out on the City Twitter account. That's just a few little points there. So, Bernard, go back to you. It's fantastic. How does it feel to have all your players almost fully fit?
Well, it makes picking a Pepsi 11 hard, doesn't it, mate? I have no idea what. I've just been looking through it before I came on air, and I thought, flipping heck. I've got a lot of question marks at the end of it, where I might get 6 right, 7 right, 8 right. I doubt very much I'm going to get 10 or 11 this week.
If you get 11 right, I'll kiss your ball bonce next time I see you. If you get all 11 right, I don't believe you got so many things to think about. Is Haaland going to start? That's the first thing. You expect Bernardo to be bad, but is Nunez going to be dropped? I think he might be. Is it going to be Rico or Kyle? Is Pep going to persist with Guardiola? Now Kanji's back. Is he going to start? Is Ruben Dias going to come back? Is John Stones going to have another game, 2 games on the bench? Is Aki going to? Oh, mate, at least this week, your decision-making process has become a lot easier now that Calvin Phillips has left. Did you watch the game last night? All right. Calvin apparently was slightly at fault for their goal. Anyway.
Well, it was on about 2 minutes, wasn't it, or something?
Oh, it wasn't his fault. Yeah, he got a bad pass. Anyway,
the thing is, if you look at what Pep was saying there about the problems they cause on throw-ins and corners, he's got to obviously have a big defence. So Diaz has got to come back, surely.
Yeah. I mean, for me, a couple of seasons ago when Diaz came, I used to say when Diaz played with Stones, Diaz was the guy who headed the ball and he won the headers. So that was his job, to head the ball. And John Stones was the one who brought it out. I'm happy with that. Diaz has got the height.
Lewis is going to be no good, is he?
Yeah. So I can see. Well, I couldn't see Lewis starting. I can see being Walker again, or moving back to Walker because Walker.
If his head's right, of course, he's all okay.
It's not his head you're worried about, mate. That's what's the problem.
Yes, he's not looking down after he comes out of the shower and looking at something, is he?
Well, I'll tell you what, he's getting a poke in the eye if he looks down the way he spends his time. Anyway, go on, bangers out that your team. Then I want to know what this team is. I'm curious.
Well, I think you've sort of based it there. The thing is, Guardiola going to stand down because we know Aki's got to play. Aki is our best defender.
Yeah.
He's got to play. So if you've got Diaz, Stones, Aki, and Lewis, Guardiola's got to stand down.
Well, I can't see Lewis starting, mate. I think personally,
Not Lewis. Sorry, Walker. Oh, yeah,
Willie Walker.
Yeah.
Walker.
Yeah, the only way I can see Walker and Lewis start. I mean, even if Walker's, I'd play Stones over there. I'd play Stones on the right.
Yeah.
Even if Walker's not right, I'd play Stones, and then Vardiol's got a spot there, hasn't he?
If I had a choice, I'd have Stones.
Kanji's a big lad. He's powerful.
I'd have Akanji on the bench because he's just coming back from injury.
That's your problem with Akanji. He's probably not 90 minutes worth, is he?
If it was me, I'd have Johnny Stones. I'd have Diaz, Ake, and Gvardiol. I can't. Well, I wouldn't have Gvardiol, but I think Pep's going to have Gvardiol.
So no Walker then.
No Walker, but I think it might. Or the other option would be Walker, Stones, Diaz, and Ake. That's my preference. Ake on the left, safe as houses. Most of the time, safe as houses. That's what I'd be doing. And the rest, I wouldn't worry about the rest because you know what Rodri's going to play. You know KDB is going to start. You know Bernardo's going to start. You know Foden's going to start. You know Alvarez is going to start. Well, hang on a minute.
Is he?
Mate, Alvarez has started every single league game. I can't see him dropping him now.
He's scored 2 goals. I mean, Pep won't be beyond Pep just to drop him now. He scored a couple of goals.
No. Yeah, I know. That's Pep's style. But maybe he just leaves Haaland because he's been out for 2 months. Haaland's been out 2 months. Maybe he starts Haaland on the bench. KDB had, was it 3 starts on the bench before 2 or 3 starts anyway on the bench. So maybe Haaland starts on the bench. It gets Pep out of a hole, and the hole is who'd you pick. You don't want to be bringing back players that are too soon when you don't need to. I don't think
he didn't look overly sharp the other night, did he?
No,
Haaland.
He couldn't hit the proverbial
the old air shot.
Yeah. So no, I'd be looking at, honestly, Alvarez, Bernardo, Foden, and Rodri and KDB. Those 5, and you got space for one more. Doku. The question is, for the last one, would you go Doku? Would you go Jack? Would you go Kovacic? Would you go Nunes?
Well, I thought he might have gone with Jack the other night. So because he didn't, I'm thinking he might do Doku again for this.
So I thought you were going to say, I think he might go for Jack because he didn't pick him last time. He wants a bit of control. But has it... Okay, this is for another interview, another video. But we'll ask the brief question.
How many goals did they let in? What are they like on the goals against column?
I'll tell you that. Whilst I'm looking that up, the question I was going to give to you is Pep over Jack? That's the question I'm going to ask you.
Well, it's a good point. It is a good point. Jack's not risen it to the challenge, really, has he, just yet? Not this season, I don't think. But I say he does the job, doesn't he? He does the job that Pep wants. So I'm not too sure. It depends. We've at some stage we've got to start scoring some goals. I don't think
do that.
I don't think this is going to be a tight one. I can't see a 2-3 goal margin with this one at all. I can see them scoring if Walker plays, like you say. If Walker plays and
they're getting a goal.
So I'm just going for I'll do the scores in a minute, but we're not going to score lots of goals. But does Jack doesn't give us that option. Doku gives us an option of possibility of creating something.
Yeah,
doesn't he?
I mean, you need goals when you've got Walker and Gvardiol playing at fullback. There's no choice. You've got to get some goals from somewhere. Jack, just quickly mention, he's picked Doku over Jack after Doku's come up from injury. He's picked Oscar Bob over Jack. So Jack's got to pull his finger out. Anyway, that's for maybe next week we do a video on Jack Grealish and his future. I've done a couple of them. I said it before, he needs to pull his finger out. He needs to offer us more. And he's not doing that. If Oscar Bob is getting picked ahead of you, you've got to look at yourself in the mirror. So So are you going to give me an attacking? Well, we've got 5 at the back with 4 defenders and a keeper. Can you give me your 6 attackers then, please? Midfield and attack.
6 attackers. Let me have a look where everything is. Let me have a look at my stuff. I've actually wrote it down. I don't think I've dedicated myself to it. Yeah, I mean, of course, you've got so we've got Edison, Walker, Diaz, Stones, Zaki, combination, Rodri, of course. I mean, Kovacic has got to come back surely into this as well. Do you think?
If he does,
then you didn't say him before, did you? But obviously that means Foden wouldn't play. Foden's got to play, hasn't he? So Kovacic has got to miss out, isn't he?
Well, so there's two ways to do this. Okay, if you've got, see, I can't see him dropping Alvarez. I can't see him dropping KDB. I can't see him dropping Foden. I can't see him dropping Bernardo. I can't see him dropping Rodri. There's 5.
So Kovacic isn't getting a chance, is he?
Well, I think the decision is Kovacic, Nunez, Doku, Jack, or Haaland.
Yeah.
See, I can see him resting Haaland, not starting him because he's only just come back. He's been out best part of 2 months. So I can see him resting Haaland and then saying, right, who'd you go for? I think the natural choice is Doku. It all depends. Do you want to that pivot? Do you want that double pivot in midfield?
I mean, Phil, do you think? I mean, I'm just thinking. Obviously, the other night I didn't think Phil was brilliant. Do you think there's a possibility he might take Phil out of the firing line?
No, mate, you can't drop him just because he's not, an 8.5 out of 10. You can't. I don't think you can drop Phil. What personally, I'd go back to that defense and say you sort out your midfield by sorting out your defense. Put John Stones at right back. Have Diaz and Aki at centre backs, and at left back Guardiola. Or you have 3. You play with 3 at the back, and the John Stones is that right back who moves into midfield. But I can't see Pep doing that. And that way, Kovacic doesn't play, but you give an extra space for someone like Doku to start. Because at the moment, if you're having KDB, Alvarez, Bernardo, and Foden, you're not giving much space for anybody else. So I think that's how I'd do it. But Pep ain't going to do that. It's a tough one. Moving on quickly on to Brentford. Obviously, Ivan Toney's back. He's back with a bang.
Scoring, that's all he can ask.
Yeah, he scored a couple of goals. I mean, Brentford are obviously struggling in the league. The results...
they were doing all right against Tottenham, then just collapsed. 3 goals in 8 minutes, wasn't it, for Tottenham? So that sort of buried that game, really, which, all right, we played Tottenham recently ourselves, so that gives us a bit of a guide on it. But I don't think Tottenham battered them by any means. No. Absolutely not. And, of course, the home form is a lot better than away form.
Brentford's problem is, mate, they've lost
from 22 at home. They've picked up, so that's where they're better. And we know obviously they've got to be still pretty confident after doing us twice last year. Even though the last game was a bit of a throwaway one for us, of course, because it was all over by then. But I think it's going to be a toughie. I think Brentford. I mean, I looked at they're only 5 points. Is it 4 points ahead of Everton, aren't they, in the 3rd relegation spot? So they're nowhere near safety, really. They could get dragged into it.
I mean, they've got a game in hand. And their goal difference is worth a point because they're -5.
0.
Everton are only -4. But I think they are in that relegation fight. They've lost 4 of the last 5 games. When you look at their recent results, I'll pop them up. They drew 1 FA Cup. Was that they drew 1-1 with Wolves? That was after.
Wolves can't be very good, can they? They got beat by United, so they can't be very good.
The last game they obviously got beat by Spurs 3-2. Before that, they beat Forest 3-2. Before that, they lost to Wolves 3-2 in the FA Cup replay. Before that, they drew 1-1 with Wolves. If you go back into December, they lost to Palace 3-1. They lost to Wolves 4-1 at home in the league. They lost to Villa 2-1 at home in the league. They lost to Sheffield United 1-0 away from home. They lost to Brighton 2-1 away from home. They beat Luton 3-1 at home. So they've had a torrid time results-wise. And as I said, they need the bottom. But they still managed to score a reasonable number of goals They've got 31 goals in 21 games. To give you an idea, West Ham are sat in 6th and they've scored 36 goals. United are sat in 7th. They've scored 28. United have got a negative goal difference of -4. Brentford is -5. And, they're miles apart in terms of points. So they're not having a good run. But your man Tony's come back. He's got 2 goals in 2 games, is it?
Yeah.
Is he their biggest threat?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it is the biggest threat, but I mean, they've got a couple of other guys. I was looking at the stats the other day, but yeah, I do worry because what are we worst at? We're worst at defending, long throws and flipping corners, aren't we? So that is a big worry. And of course, as you say, you just think Tony's going to get a goal, but that means we've got to make sure we take our chances. Because I think we will let at least one goal in tomorrow, Monday. So we've got to, so that means Alvarez has to be on target rather than hit him over the bar. And if Haaland starts, he has to start pulling his finger out and come back with a bang because based on what I saw the other night, if he's trying too hard, he's going to do silly things. So yeah, it's not going to be easy, mate. I think it's going to be a big toughie, this one. I mean, I know we're putting down 3 points for this one, but yeah, we've got to go and do it. If we don't do this, I mean, it's like we keep saying this, don't we? 1-8 on the trot now, haven't we? We've got to make it 9.
Yeah.
If we don't do Brentford, my confidence going to Anfield and Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah, no, we said it. We said it when we chatted the other day that we've got 6 or 7 games that we've just got to win, and this is one of them because we'll know what, obviously the Arsenal-Liverpool game, that's a big game, and we'll have an idea what we have to do. Whether it's Liverpool pull further away, we have to catch them up. There'll be 8 points clear if they beat Arsenal, or Liverpool lose. This gives us a chance with our game in hand to get ahead of them, or they draw again with our game in hand against Brentford. It gives us a chance to catch them up and get above them. So whichever way you look at it, you've got to win. You've got to either win to catch Liverpool up, or you've got to win to get level with them, because you just can't afford to not take advantage if they draw or lose to Arsenal. So these games are must win. We know that, the boys know that, and like Pep says, we're getting into the business end of the season. Everybody's getting fit. Everybody knows what they need to do. We've been here before. Got to get back to you, mate, and ask you for that score prediction then.
Yeah, I'm just got, as I say, I can only see a goal in it, but I'll go for a nice, comfortable 2-1.
I don't think 2-1s are ever comfortable. I'm going to have a little bit more.
Don't go 3-1. Don't go 3-1, mate. It sounds like a stuck record.
3-1 is a regular score. The only time I didn't do 3-1 was the last game against Burnley, and when I went 5, I always go 2-1 or 3-1. Brentford. No, I'll tell you what, mate. 4-1 to City. There you go.
Well, having said that, I'll have that all day long, mate. A nice, relaxed evening. Yeah.
In my prediction league with my friends, it's 1-0 to City. But for this channel, City are going to win 4-1. All right, there you go, guys. City are going to win 4-1. I say Bernard says 2-1, whichever way. Even that Burnley game, I said all that matters is the result. That's all that matters. Would have been nice to get some more goals, but right now, just keep winning. That's all that matters. Bernard, my friend, thank you so much for joining us today, and we will see you around, guys, and hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. Make sure you subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Give us that like. Hey, there you go. I don't know if you can get some.
Don't think so.
We tried. Thanks a lot, guys. Keep it here. We'll see you around, Blues.